So we have the final round of my Swiss matches from the Pokemon VGC 2013 Autumn Regional Tournament. So yeah, sorry I haven't gotten to posting these in quite a long time, but I finally have this one to post here, and this was quite an epic match, an interesting match. Had a lot of great matches that day, and you know, some iffy, some cool matches. Unfortunately, I didn't make the top 8, but it was still a lot of fun in this one, and I definitely have more coming soon, so stay tuned for those as well. But for this one, like I said, unfortunately I didn't make top 8. I made 19th place overall, but yeah, this was my last match, which was actually against JiveVGC from the Nugget Bridge forums, I believe. So JiveVGC, or I think they call him JiveTime, I don't know which one he's under, but I got to battling him in my last match, and overall I faced a few of the more famous players from that site there. So anyways, yeah, be sure to enjoy this match here. Alright. And we begin our round 8 match here at JiveVGC, as you can see, and I'm going to send out Jellicent and Hitmontop here to get my fake outs plus trick room setup going here. And unfortunately he's going to send out Cresselia and Rotom, which kind of counters my leads, which is not looking too good, as I'm going to have to take a hit. But I figure Hitmontop can pretty much take the... well, I wasn't too concerned about sacking my Hitmontop basically, so I figured I'd just fake out the Rotom so I can try to get the Trick Room up. But unfortunately he does see this coming, and he's going to swagger my Jellicent here to try to hacks me out and stop me from setting up my Trick Room basically. I assume he'd do that since, you know, he saw the rest of my team in team preview, so it pretty much is safe to assume that I would have the Trick Room rather than Choice Scarf Water Spouts, as I believe there were a few Jellicents going around with the Choice Scarf. So unfortunately I'm going to get the Confusion Hacks here. I'm going to actually withdraw into my Tyranitar. I'm really kind of not sure what to do. I was afraid he might just try to take me out with the Thunderbolts, or worse yet, I don't know, try to get some other kind of weird hacks on me. So instead he's going to try to Will-O-Wisp my Hitmontop, which unfortunately is going to miss for him, and that actually mattered somewhat. I say somewhat because he has a Citrus Berry on the Rotom, which basically tells me that it really didn't matter quite as much unless it hit the Citrus Berry zone after the burn. Basically what I'm saying is it recovers to an amount that's almost about the same as if it had been, as if Hitmontop was burned. So basically it's almost like it didn't matter, but with a little less HP. In either case, next turn you'll see that it didn't quite as much matter. But in any case, here I'm actually going to predict him to protect with Rotom here, and instead he's going to switch out Cresselia. I was actually expecting him to stay in and Psychic my Hitmontop, maybe, which would pretty much take out my Hitmontop there. So I'm going to predict the Protect and go for a Feint here to break his Protect and take him out with Crunch. So basically this is what I mean, that it didn't quite matter based on how bulky the Rotom was, and from the looks of it, doesn't really seem to be all that, like he didn't quite EV it in physical defense as much. So I'm going to take it out with the Crunchers, which is going to be enough to take it out there. And he's going to send out Cresselia now back into, I guess, set up his Metagross's Swagger and take my guys out with either Meteor Mash or Earthquakes. So I'm kind of worried about this Metagross now, since I don't really have that many options to take it out, and I'm going to have to try to figure out a way to take it out since I don't have any super effective attacks to take it out on either of my Pokemon here. So he's actually going to have his Metagross go for the Earthquake, I guess predicting my Tyranitar to protect. And that's actually going to take out my Hitmontop, since I did have the defense drop from close combat earlier, and he has doubled up attack power on Earthquake anyways. The Tyranitar is going to barely survive, just for the sole reason that I do have a bit of defensive actually no, I have a full HP investment, no defense investment, but Earthquake is actually reduced in double battles, so that's probably the reason it lived with like a smidgen there. Otherwise it probably would have fainted from in single battle normally from Earthquake. So I'm gonna have Aaron protect here, predicting him to protect with his Metagross and try to screw me over with Swagger and Cresselia. I was kind of thinking that he was gonna do that, but then I was a little afraid that he might not over predict and then just decide to leave it in and take me out. So I kind of had about nearly a minute trying to decide there, and on the last minute I decided to protect with Aaron and go for crunch on Cresselia instead, which actually gets a critical hit, which somewhat mattered, but either way I probably could have taken it out after in any case. At the most he would have probably given me some problem with Swagger hacks. But here he's going to try to double protect with Metagross. Unfortunately that's not going to work for him, and I'm going to once and for all get rid of this Metagross, which is going to leave me in better hands here. In hindsight, his Metagross was actually slower, if I do recall, so he could have actually stayed and gone for like an Earthquake, but I guess he was kind of panicked there. So just saying, you gotta kind of keep your cool in a tournament, can't panic too much. Either that, or I guess maybe it was a misplay or something, I don't know. But in either case, he's going to decide to Dragon Claw my Aaron, since the Trick Room is going to wear off anyways, and that was pretty hefty move there. Either that or he didn't want to hit his own Metagross with Earthquake. I'm thinking it was the former, possibly the prediction there. So here he's going to try to get some Sandveil hacks on me, which unfortunately is not going to work for him. If it had, he would have actually won the battle here. That probably would have saved him the game there. But I'm going to get a Crunch and Endeavor on it. So that's going to weaken it all the way down to the red, and I should be able to take it out for her. But unfortunately, he does have Earthquake, and I don't really have all that many moves on Aaron to try to take it out. I do have Toxic on Aaron, but that's going to be a little bit hard to hit on Garchomp, as it has 85 accuracy. And furthermore, the Sandveil ability on Garchomp will further lower the accuracy on Toxic. As you can see, it actually missed there, so it's was a little unfortunate there. I believe here he's actually going to go for an Earthquake, but I'm going to protect with Aaron in the hopes that Jellicent doesn't get hacks, and I also want to set up a Trick Room so I can pretty much have the favor in my hands of not being hacked for the most part, and so I can get some recovers off in between. Oh, and yes, I do have a recover on this Jellicent, if you didn't see in any of my previous matches. It did help me in about, I think, 1 or 2 of my matches. It's been a while since I watched his matches, but all I remember is Recover did come in handy in one of my matches where I had a Star War with it. So here I'm going to actually Toxic Garchomp. I'm going to predict his Protect and go for the Recover to heal somewhat off of that damage, pretty much, and make it harder for Garchomp to take it out. So it's always good, and I'm going to try again to get another Toxic and take it out with Ice Beam, which finally Toxic decides to hit, and this time he's not going to double protect. He probably should have Earthquake last turn, because then he would have possibly critical hitted my Jellicent, and maybe would have even made a nice comeback there. So unfortunately that's the end there. It was still a pretty great match with Jive VGC there. We had some epic predictions and a few missed predictions here and there, but I mean, it is what it is in a tournament. Sometimes you get a little pressured and you're not really sure what to do, but I mean, that's all there is to it in the tournament basically. But for the most part, if you want to win the most matches as you can, you really have to try to keep your cool and go with your gut instinct basically, or you know, don't be afraid to make some predictions. That's all I can say for VGC advice, but sometimes even that can go awry, as players tend to be getting a little better, so they might see through that. And so overall, a good strategy will get you through most of the tournament for the most part, and of course don't play too obvious. But anyways, that's the end of my series here. I definitely hope you guys did enjoy the Pokemon VGC 2013 Autumn Regional Series battles as I posted here. I tried to save as many matches as I could. If there were any more, I would have saved a lot more. So anyways, coming up next, we have the Pokemon VGC, one of my top 8 matches from actually the top 8 match, or actually yeah, it was one of my Swiss rounds. No, I'm sorry, my best of 3 top 8 matches from the Winter Regional. So I do have that coming up next, probably posted in a few days. So be sure to stay tuned for that, and hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more as always. And also, if you guys are interested in any tournaments coming soon, do look up on www.pokemon.com, which is the main site for Pokemon related news. So be sure to check that out. Alright, stay tuned for more. Peace out.